It's the morning cryptos and volatility. Volatility is your friend. Let's look at the daily cryptos. Hey, Mark Shepard here with the daily cryptos. And for those of you who don't know, this is a 90-day challenge for me to really explore the nature of money. And that's why I call it the hypnosis of money. And you can't dig very deep into the history of money, the purpose of money, the idea of money without hitting this radical new idea that is transforming the world. Not just the world of finance, but the world. It's called Bitcoin. It's called cryptocurrencies, altcoins, whatever you want to call it. And I have come the full distance from not knowing anything to knowing enough to be dangerous to knowing perhaps enough to be a little less dangerous to myself. However, every day I come and I look at these numbers like I used to go sit in the woods as a little kid and just look at nature and observe. And it's amazing what you can learn by just doing something consistently. And I do check the numbers, the charts throughout the day, but I thought it was a good way to capture my learning curve as well as kind of learn how to do the two things that you can really do to make money here in this space. And one is to trade. The other is to mine. And I have a couple of Genesis mining contracts. I have a Bitcoin contract, an Ethereum contract, and a Monero contract. Just small positions over at Genesis mining. And I'm learning about other legitimate mining operations. And then there's a whole other realm of things that look legitimate, or to the new person look legitimate, but are actually high-yield investment programs or Ponzi schemes. So it's kind of the Wild West here, and today in the Morning Cryptos, we're going to focus on the Morning Cryptos and see where they are. We had a huge run-up prior to Labor Day weekend here in the States with pretty much every currency, at least the major ones. I don't watch all of them. I only kind of watch the major ones that seem to be viable, that have a decent amount of trading volume. And that at least I learned from years and years ago when I made an attempt to trade futures commodities in order to save my four houses from foreclosure at the top of the 1980s real estate bubble. So I know about bubbles, and really the whole altcoin space is not in a bubble. It's not yet in a bubble. It's perhaps the beginning of the bubble or the movement. But we had a huge move before Labor Day weekend, and up to almost 5,000 in Bitcoin, and Litecoin went up to almost 100. So, and then it dropped back down like a rock the next couple of days. And of course, immediately everybody's like, "Oh, it's a crash." It's not a crash. It's a correction. It's a volatile new currency, and as more and more money comes into this space, these corrections will be smaller in comparison to the volume and to the movement here. So obviously we're coming back. We had a pretty solid down day, and then sort of a middle day, and then another solid down day, and we hit as low as 38.82 on that whisker there, and then we're working our way back up. So the question is, if it was truly a bear market, from here we would just be kind of working our way down. So this is kind of a turning point, a pivot point. And I've had a few shifts of awareness. I've been watching this guy, Ryan Lai, Lye, I think is how he spells his name. And he's really a seasoned trader, and he does, almost a daily cryptos. He does it a different way. He's a lot less funny than I am, but very interesting in his idea, and I'm just learning now how also to place trades over at Bittrex and to place orders so that if, let's say we have a huge run up like this, his term was, if it goes parabolic, you got to take your profits. But his whole plan, his whole thing is he takes his profits into Bitcoin. Sometimes it makes sense to take your profits out into the US dollar tether token and then to get back into a lower price, but you can get screwed that way too. And he said, worst case scenario, Bitcoin is going up, and you can take your profits from the other currencies and pop those into Bitcoin. So some different mindsets, and I'm kind of getting that. I was really pissed at Bitcoin after the SegWit activation, just because it seemed like all the miners rushed over to Bitcoin Cash, and I couldn't get my transactions through. But the frustration of that led me to actually go deeper into my Exodus wallet and to actually download the Eden wallet. But then it was like, you know what? Trading in your wallet is really not as accurate as placing an order. So, like, for example, I could place an order here for 3,800, and if the market suddenly drops, my order would just be filled. Boom. And that kind of precision is obviously what traders do. So there's a whole other learning curve for anyone coming into this space and who wants to actually make legitimate money. The easiest thing is to buy mining contracts, but you want to buy mining contracts at a company that is actually there. I just heard about a new one that American citizens aren't, quote unquote, allowed to join, and it's the Bit Club network, which is actually the biggest one. It's like the biggest mining group pool. So I'm going to check them out, and I'm going to see if I can find a way to learn more about them. There's Genesis Mining, and then there's HashFlare and Hashing 24, and so in the days to come, I will be exploring more of the mining thing. And I saw an interview on the Anarchast with Joby Weeks, who is the Bit Club network guy, and he was like, yeah, trading can be exhausting. You're constantly watching the charts, whereas mining, it's like it's a paycheck, right? So I think if you do both of those are two significant ways to create wealth. And the thing is, I wouldn't just mine with one company. I think probably you want to mine with a couple of companies. And the bottom line is to stay away from the high yield investment programs. I got an email yesterday from somebody. Let me see if I can find it. Hi, how are you? I want to talk to you for a hype site. I got your email from YouTube video. I am going to design my own hype website. I want you to be a part of my team as advertiser. Sorry, I'm doing it in an Asian accent. I mean no disrespect, but it's obviously someone who's not English originally. My task is 100 Bitcoins. I will give you 20% of it. If you will advertise my website, I will return all of your money that you will invest in my site, and when my task of 100 Bitcoin will accomplish, I will give you 20 Bitcoin. I think deal is not bad. I will share my site link with you if you will show the interest in it. My site run for 30 to 50 days or when I get 100 Bitcoin. We are 4 partners already in it. You don't need to invest in the site. You just need to make video, deposit some money in it, and upload it on YouTube with your reference link and refer others. We will be anonymous. We will not share our personal information with anyone. If agree, then get back to me. Let me know if you're interested or have any kind of issue with this. Thanks, you're a friend. Yeah, like you're my friend. You're not my friend. So the hypes are out there, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to do my own version of a hype, but as a parody, and just like, here's my Bitcoin address. Just send me money. I will never send it back. Just send me money. I will never send it back. There you go. And you can get over investing in a hype. I will give you 1 million returns, but I will never send it back. And I'll just say that up front. Just here's my Bitcoin address. Just send me money. Just send me Bitcoin. And I will never send it back, right? So please, people, don't put your Bitcoin, if you're new, please please don't put your Bitcoin in the high yield investment programs. I did it on camera. If you want to see an idiot, watch my first 2 weeks. I got excited by it. I figured, you know what? They're here. Let's try them. Let's get the full experience of being a newbie. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people get ripped off. And ultimately, if you realize that Bitcoin is more valuable than gold, start treating your Bitcoin like it's actually valuable, right? It's not just little dots on a screen. It's something valuable. So I'm coming back around to thinking, okay, I'm going to get Bitcoin again, and I'm going to hold it. I was pissed I thought, this can't last. It's not going to work. But, SegWit is starting to activate I've seen some tweets about, the first transactions going through on SegWit, and I don't understand all that stuff, but Bitcoin, I think, is here to stay, people. So, all that being said, let's look at Bitcoin. Sorry for the long preamble, but again, I don't plan these out, and I just woke up, and I'm still working on my coffee, and sometimes while I'm sleeping, some ideas that I want to share with you guys generate in my head. So, all right. And if you don't want to hear me blab, that's okay too. But that's what I bring to the market here. I'm not the most experienced trader in the world. However, I am a student of the human mind, and these charts are recordings of the human thought process about Bitcoin, right? So, in every human endeavor, there are advances and step backs. And we have seen massive advances and minor step backs, and a massive advance and a minor step back. But when you have money in this and you got in at 49 because you thought you were going to miss the boat, this minor step back is a major setback for you, right? So that's the thing, is you want to start looking at these markets and kind of to take you through the process. You hear about Bitcoin, you don't know anything about this, and you go to Coinbase and you see their chart there, and you go, oh, okay, it's going up, and you try to buy it, and if you have it set up, you can do an instant buy supposedly there, but it's hard to actually get in at a certain price, and then you don't have any control there. So, but eventually you start going down the rabbit hole until you get to these kinds of details, and you look, oh, is this a good moment to buy? It's probably always a good time to buy, and we may look, when this is $50,000, whether you got in at $4,000 or $4,500 is probably not going to matter that much. The bottom line is the people that have Bitcoin will rule the world. And the people that currently rule the world are probably about to figure that out, and they're probably going to jump in and get a whole lot of this, particularly if the predictions about the October stock market crash come true, right? So, something that I think everybody should at least educate themselves about. And if you don't want to trade, buy mining contracts, right? And if you don't want to buy mining contracts, you got to just buy the coins and hold them or trade them. So really, there are three strategies, and if you can crank up your crypto by trading the other charts, the other coins, you can bring your profits and take your profits and bring them into Bitcoin. That could be a good strategy. So that's where I am. That's what I'm exploring. So let's look at this is the 1 day chart. We have a significant amount of, I don't know how significant it is, but we have a certain amount of support kind of right here at 39.82. We had a dip to 38.87. We have some of these whiskers. You'll see these flash crashes, kind of what they call them, where it really drops down and then it recovers. And we have a good support at 41.82. Let's look at the 1 hour chart. So on the 1 hour chart, we have rising bottoms. And the question is there some resistance here at 46.45? And we have some support at 43.28. We have support right here, kind of in the 43.68 range. So not a horrible time to get in. If you're going to get in and it goes to 50,000, you're in good shape. If you get in and we're suddenly in a bear phase, you're screwed, right? So pay attention to these 1 hour charts, and let's go deeper into, let's go to the 10-minute chart. See, we've had a pretty good spike up in this 10-minute chart. And what it does on the big chart, it does on the little chart, right? So you can kind of get a sense of the energy and the feel for the market. And here we have some support here at 44.77. So I'll be interested, and we have slightly lower tops here. You might almost call this a double top or a triple top. So my guess is that it's going to keep going up from here. Not a bad time to get a little bit of Bitcoin. So I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do, because I pretty much moved all of my Bitcoin into Litecoin when I got pissed. I was like, screw it, I'm getting out of Bitcoin, it's going to crash. I don't believe that anymore, because Bitcoin's really the only thing the public's heard of. They haven't heard of all the others yet. So I think, and I tend to argue with the windmills sometimes, I think Bitcoin is here to stay. And the fact that it does have, a decentralized governance system. There's no one person that the government could take out if they wanted to stop Bitcoin. Yeah, here we go. We just had a move up. So here's our resistance point. It's at 45.50 or 45.38, 45.40, something like that. Yeah, more 45.40. Then if it breaks through that, it'll probably come back in its recovery. So I will be looking for the next correction, perhaps, to get back into Bitcoin. But in the meantime, I get a little bit of Bitcoin every day for my Genesis mining operation, and I'm just going to keep that. I'm going to keep it in Bitcoin, and I'm going to start. If I can, we'll look at the Litecoin chart. I may take profits if it goes back up to 90. I may take maybe half of my position out as profit and put that into Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens. All right, so I'm liking Bitcoin again. Do you see how emotional we are? Like, I like it, right? If your position goes against you, you feel very differently, and that to me is the hypnosis of money, and that's how we interact with this neutral thing called money. But it's really the market. We are seeing a cultural phenomenon, and most of these big retracements were, pretty big positions taking profits. Not a crash, right? So just so you know, headlines aside, but it was interesting that day, Labor Day. If you just went to my YouTube channel, all my different subscriptions, all the different people, it's just like, ICO ban, Bitcoin crash, right? So I had to kind of mimic that in my headline, just to get people to pay attention, But that's, again, bad news, far stickier than good news. Bad news travels faster. So that's the human mind. All right, let's look at the next one alphabetically. Dash. And again, same kind of deal. Dash corrected like a son of a gun, and now it's making a comeback. So yeah, let's... we had some pretty good support here at 312, which corresponds here and here. So we have kind of a double support spot, and we have a double top here, which is kind of interesting. So my take on Dash is that it's going to work its way back up to this resistance point, and then it's going to make a go for 400, and possibly it'll hit 420, then have another little retracement as people take profits, and on we go. So let's look at the 1 hour chart. So it looks like we have some support at 322 here. We have some support over here, 320-ish, 323, 322, something like that. And it's working its way up. And let's go to 10-minute chart. Right now, this is interesting. We have a little bit lower bottom here on the 10-minute chart, but we have support up in here, 335, and right now it's at 336. It looks like resistance is up here at the 339 spot, between 339 and 340. So it'd be interesting to see if we move up from here, or what these two lower bottoms might mean. Let's dive in even deeper. Let's go to the 1 minute. See what's going on. The 1 minute isn't telling me that much. There's a lot less volume in Dash, you can see. So I think Dash is looking good. I don't think it's going to go anywhere soon. I think we have a pretty good recovery going on, and it's just coming right back. That to me is a sign of health, and we got kind of this whole little cluster. This might be a double top. It might be a little sideways trading range, but mostly the bottoms are higher, with this one exception here. So again, I've got a little Dash, which makes me interested in it, and I'm continuing to watch it. Let's go back to the 1 day. Spread it out a little here. Oh, come on, a little chart. It's mostly my mouse. I still, after 4 years of using this Mac, it still does things I don't want it to do. I saw Warren Buffett interviewed about Apple, and he's not selling his Apple shares. But if you look at Apple, it's like the most profitable company in the world. It can't stay the most profitable company in the world quarter in and quarter out, day in and day out. They're gonna make some mistakes. They're gonna, Steve Jobs is long gone at this point, and it's now run by a bunch of bureaucrats, right? Maybe. Who knows? Maybe his hand-picked team has his vision, but his vision was so iconoclastic that who knows, right? It's the same like with Ethereum. If something happened to Vitalik Buterin, it might affect Ethereum, right? So that's something to pay attention to. I guess there was a scare that he was in an auto accident, and there was somewhat of a crash, but Ethereum's still strong. We'll get to that now. Let's go to Ethereum. Speaking of Ethereum, but I'm liking Dash. I think it's coming back. I think there's still plenty of energy in there. The volume is decent over here, and so boom. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum. Now, if you didn't know that there was a serious double top, you'd think, oh, Ethereum's doing really well. And it is. I think it is doing really well. Just remember, see if I can squeeze this up a little bit. We have this serious double top here. And again, every time we approach 400, it's like someone takes a tennis racket and pops it back down, right? Pops it back down. So I'm looking for Ethereum to again make a run at 400. This time it might break out. Or this just may be a massive sideways trading range. We'll see. But I think at some point it's going to break out of the $400 range. And it would be nice to have gotten in lower. I think I have exactly one Ethereum. So I kind of did that on purpose because I don't know that much about Ethereum, and I just kept hearing about the ICOs being built on it, and I'm not too keen on all the crap coins, the shit coins that are coming out like crazy. And to me, that's as bad as the Ponzi scheme. So, but there's going to be a shakeout. But it's all being done on the Ethereum network, and so you would think if China banned ICOs that would affect the Ethereum price, but it hasn't. Maybe it looks like it did, but all the coins took a hit over the weekend because they went parabolic, they went berserk in a good way, and then major traders took profits. So Ethereum is working its way back, and I like that because I have one. Let's look at the hour chart. And again, just steady up, steady up, steady up, 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 up. Steady up, steady up. And yeah, what the chart said. What the chart said. Oh, yeah, so bottoms are all higher. Interesting little thing here. We got a little resistance at 330, 334. And it looks like as we watch, it's going to make a test of that. If it breaks through that, it'll keep going up. It may find resistance there. So that's the 10-minute chart. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. Haven't done that. Yeah, it's gonna go to 334. Let's go to the 1-minute chart. See what it's doing right now. What's it doing right now? Oh my god! Look at this. It's really doing something. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Let's see if I can move this down a little bit. There's 334. I'm gonna draw a line. Gonna draw a line at 334. 334, everybody. Okay, so right there. Ish. 334-ish. It's not the best line in the world, but that's where it's going. It's where it wants to go. And let's draw I haven't drawn any lines today. Let's draw another line. Let's draw a line going up. All right. According to my very precise calculations here, at exactly 8:10 my time, it now being 8:08, exactly 8:10 Eastern time, Ethereum should reach 334. Right. Anyway, it's fun to watch paint dry. I like this. Sometimes I just come and I just ponder. I just look at it and absorb the ideas and the energy that are being represented to me. These are people who are going, oh, okay, it's moving up. So if it goes up to here, I'm in. Or if it goes down to here, I'm in. So, if you're a trader, you might want to put a buy order down here. And that's what I'm going to start doing next. We'll see how I can do that. But you can make a precise decision about when you want to get in so that if it does crash or if you think, there's going to be a drop or whatever, you can get in at a lower price, or if there's a place where you go, okay, if it moves to 400, I'll take my profits, and then I'll wait for it to come back in. So you can do a lot of stuff. It's never boring. But anyway, that's Ethereum. Let's move on as it makes its epic run back to 400. The thrills, the spills, the action, and of course, I've totally screwed up my chart. I found this reset chart button. It's really nice. They seem to know what they're doing over here at Coinigy. Is it Coinigy or Coinigy? Andrew Coinigy. All right. So again, Ethereum. Spread that baby out a little bit. That's still the 1 hour. So let's get back up to 1 day. All right. So there's your 1 day chat. I think it's good. I think it's shown that Ethereum can handle a hit and come right back. It can get clobbered and come right back. It can get clobbered again and come right back. That to me is a serious That's resilience, not resistance, resilience. All right, let's look at my favorite little Litecoin. I don't know why I like Litecoin so much. I just always like the underdog. I tend to like the underdog. And Litecoin's coming back. It hit that, it just touched 93 and then dropped like a rock. But it only dropped to 61. That's not too bad, right? And so I'm going to hang on. I think what my plan is, as if it matters, it really doesn't, because I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm learning while I'm doing it in front of you guys, is if Litecoin approaches this $100 range, I think I'm going to sell half of it and move that into Bitcoin. But I want to keep the other half because I think eventually Litecoin's going to be in the $400, $500 range. Because as more people come in, as it becomes more valuable, as it interacts with Bitcoin in a better way, as it supposedly with these atomic swaps and the Lightning Network, we'll see. I think there's so many solid fundamentals with both Litecoin and Bitcoin that it's a lot less like gambling than perhaps it might have seemed. It might appear. It might have seemed. Yes. All right. So I wasn't too worried when I missed taking profits here, at the $87, $90 range. I really wasn't that concerned, although it was a drag to see my my wallet balance go down without me having done anything. It was really cool to see it go up without me having done anything. But here we are. And the thing that's so cool about Litecoin, and it's so different from the other coins, this is the 1 hour chart, is that it tends to have these nice, tight little trading things. Maybe it's because of my chart that it's looking like that. Let's. I don't know. Yeah, that's a little bit more, a little less squashed. So it's just moving up. Steady as she goes on the 1 hour charts. Let's look at the 10-minute chart. I'm going to hit reset because this is looking weird. There we go. 1 hour chart. Back. Okay. So the 1 hour chart, we have higher bottoms, higher tops, higher bottoms, higher. It's clearly coming back, right? Just nice and steady, coming back. Let's look at the 10 minutes. Okay, so it looks like we have some support around 76. That's kind of cool. Between, kind of 76 and 76.46, 76.30. And 76.77 was your last kind of major resistance, and now we've moved up a whole step to, it's looking like 78 is the resistance point, and we're at 78 right now, so it'll probably see if it can tickle 78.51, 78.51. And that's Litecoin, baby. Let's go to 1 minute. Look at that. Yeah, so like if you're a trading bot, there's profit between here and here, and you might take it, right? But it's pretty cool, pretty dynamic. All right, so that's it for today. I'm not going to look at any of the others because they're all kind of doing the same thing. And I know I blabbed a lot today, so I'm going to keep it short. And I really appreciate you guys. If this was helpful to you, if you like listening to me, and I really appreciate someone listening to me, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment below. And again, I am learning. I'm learning how to interact with this market from the standpoint of somebody who is not a computer technical person, who's not even good at math. And my whole point is that if I can do this, other people can do it too. And when it becomes easier and easier for new people to come in, you're going to have a lot of education needing to happen. You're going to see a lot of people jump into Ponzi schemes and get burned. You're going to see more volatility perhaps. And you're going to see people doing dumbass shit like, mortgaging their homes to buy some unproven coin or to just buy Bitcoin or Litecoin. Or I think I saw a headline, a guy was like, I'm mortgaging my home to buy Litecoin. And hopefully he did really well. Hopefully he was able to hang in. But most people who do impulsive shit like that, they're impulsively in and they're also impulsively out. I know because I know that guy. I know that guy very well. And, there's some of me in that. However, I'm in my 50s. Warren Buffett made most of his money after age 50. And I have enough experience in life and I know myself well enough so that perhaps I can rehypnotize myself in a way that gets me where I want to go faster, easier, and better. And if I could show that to you guys, that would be cool. So anyway, that's it for today. And Litecoin is coming back. They're all coming back. And it's a good day. I think it's going to be just a wonderful thing. And everyone's going to be happy. And everyone's going to live happily ever after. And I'm going to go back to the 1 day chart for Litecoin. And there you go, people. I did Litecoin right. I got in over here. I got some here, and then I got a little more here. And so this is looking good to me. This is like something I did right. And the next question is, what next? What do I do next? How do I get out of my profits? How do I get my profits? How do I exit trades? Which ones do I hold forever? Which ones do I kind of in and out of? Which new coin should I invest in? But there's a lot to think about, so I'll leave you with that. And have a wonderful day. Have an awesome day. Hopefully you're not tangled up in a hurricane, and that you have power, and that you're going to be safe, and you're okay, and no volcanoes erupt and destroy the entire Icelandic mining industry, the crypto mining industry. All right, that's it. My name is Mark Shepard. This has been the Hypnosis of Money, the Morning Cryptos, and stick around. I might do another video later in the day for the Crypto Crankers Guide. I might practice putting in some buy orders or sell orders over at Bittrex. And that's it. Start the music. Someone, please start the damn music. Shut this guy up. Start the music now.